Hi, welcome to Leecare's range of mobile apps. We presently have P5 Mobile, P5 Notes, Insight and P5 My Care Plan. Leecare has had these range of apps, mobile apps, available for the last 18 months, presently deployed throughout the United Kingdom and Australia. I'd like to start by talking about P5 My Care Plan. P5 My Care Plan was an app built to support consumer dignity and choice. It provides a safe and secure access for residents, clients, families or their representatives to enter data that feeds into the summary care plan, view their summary care plan, record their preferences, share photos, provide feedback on care, and view any personal events that have been allocated as tasks. They can also be alerted to any medical results received. I'm going to log in now. As D, one of our residents at our facility, and when I press log in, D's profile will appear. Leecare included a range of 30 mini forms based on the assessments already housed within Leecare. So as I scroll down, I can see, first of all, the summary care plan and any feedback I might want to give, and then all of the forms available under subsection headings, from weights and vitals, my personal details, my relationships, social and spiritual, medical and clinical, down to my present needs. Swiping across, I can see any tasks that have been allocated to me, so I can see anything that's upcoming due for me. And this is great for friends and family to be able to see also. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice there's a place for documents. So staff can upload pathology results, specialist letters, any documents from the main application at the facility, and the resident is able to select the documents and see anything that has been sent through. This might prompt a phone call to the facility so that you could then discuss those results. I can also see any photographs, which again is a wonderful way to be able to share information with my family, or again from the facility they can upload photos, and from the portal of the app these photographs are able to be seen. By selecting on the plus button, I can quickly and easily add in a photograph, and that's shared automatically to the main application. Going back to Deirdre's front page, I can tap to open up the summary care plan. All of the fields and the information that the resident has access to is configurable via the permission that you give the resident. So we add in a care plan user role, and each organisation can determine what the resident and their approved family members are able to see. To provide feedback, the resident can select feedback, and here they can contribute anything to staff. They can see any feedback that staff have indeed fed back, and they can also look at their care plan review dates. Again, the ability to save or just view any of the forms within the app is governed by the permissions set at the organisational level. The My Care Plan app has a multitude of purposes. It can be used as a pre-admission tool so that prior to admission, a resident and or their family member can commence completing all of the fields within the application so that on arrival, this information will start to populate the admission assessments. Of course, with the standards, it's also allowing the resident to be a part of their care planning and provide feedback on how happy they are and content. And of course, with the environment of COVID-19 and the isolation that some of our residents are experiencing in aged care facilities, it's allowing a communication and sharing portal with their family members. Looking at the home page from the main application, Deirdre is obviously a resident of our facility. Underneath the resident details tab, we've included a whole lot of these My mini forms, and you can see when you mouse over the last date and time that the resident has actually made any changes or saved this information on the forms. So I can see that Deirdre did in fact provide some feedback on her care plan on the 25th of June. So this is all updated direct from the application. Any of the documents that have been uploaded and are either given a category of images will show through in the mobile app photos section, and any of the documents that have been uploaded and given that category of documents will also be available for the resident to see from the My Care Plan app. We set up the resident as a user of the program. Obviously, this is going to mean we're going to set up an application, a classification for the resident as a My Care Plan user. Then we're going to allocate a role. So you can see I have quite a few My Care Plan users. Deirdre has the option of a My Care Plan user where she's able to read and write all of the forms. But again, it's up to each organisation how they would like to determine the access level for their residents to have that engagement with the My Care Plan app. Looking at my list of users, I can see Dee. I've set up her username, her classification. When I go and manage her permissions, the difference is that Dee, as a My Care Plan user, only has access to view her own file. So the resident has one login, and they can then share that username and password with their approved family members. I'm sure you'll agree that the My Care Plan app would be a wonderful enhancement for your residents' experience in your organisation. P5 Mobile is a point of care app used by your staff at the facility level, and again, their username and password will directly present on this app with the permissions that they have at your organisational level. I'm going to log in now as one of my carers. I press log in, and any of the residents that this particular staff member has access to will display. So I can see all of the residents listed down, and to tap and open up, so if I go down to Dorothy, as soon as I open up this resident's profile page, I have access to the following forms: daily forms, weights and vitals, progress notes, infections, wounds, and of course the summary care plan. To open any of these, I can tap on the device, and this resident summary care plan will display on my screen. So it's a wonderful way for your staff to have up-to-date information at their hands at all times. Using the arrow to go back will return me back to the resident's home page. From here, I can enter information into the daily forms, and any of the daily forms that I've got access to in the main application, I still can record and enter information here. So for example, Dorothy might give me some feedback that she's interested in undertaking some yoga. So the feedback communication to staff, I can simply type in, I would like to commence yoga. The category type, anything that's in a light bulb on the main application comes through as a checkbox. So this might be relating to activities, and I can press OK. The submit will then come up and say this form's been saved. So this is a nice quick way of entering any of the care needs whilst you're with the resident. Similarly, I could commence a progress note, and we always have the option with any of these progress notes, we have talk to text available as well. You're able to press onto the microphone, hold that down, and it will say now you can speak and enter a progress note. When I press save or send, the progress note was saved successfully. The information presented from the P5 mobile app directly enters the main application of the program. If I'm looking at my daily forms, I can see the feedback to staff chart was last saved on the 26th of July, and it was in fact saved by Zara. So the information presents in real time. Similarly, if I was to go into the progress notes, I can see that progress note that was recorded via the app. The same instances will happen if you're presenting infections, wounds, etc. Lastly, I'd like to talk to you about P5 Insight. This works off Bluetooth beacon technology. The beacons can be placed outside the resident's room, and as you walk past with your device, it will detect any information that's pushed through to your device. So you can see any alerts, weights and vitals, infections, any information that's important for you to know about the resident without having to actually enter their room. As I scroll down, you can see things like food consistency, drink consistency, toileting times, times to check aids, any observations or BGLs, etc. that might need to be known by a staff member, including, of course, any of that vital information from the resident's homepage. GPs, next of kin, religious, all of this information is available just from the Bluetooth beacon technology. I hope you've enjoyed a little journey into the Leecare suite of applications, our mobile app technology. We're very excited and proud of it. Thank you.